Welcome
Thank you for being here.
Big Name Bitches.
Yes.
I love that you just didn't even flinch. You were like, yeah, sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah.
In 100%.
When I think of a big name bitch, I think of you, Mark. That's what I think of, honestly.
He does have a big name.
I have a big name, but I'm his bitch.
Well, we're really excited to talk to you about all things. Well, I mean, first of all, you're an amazing host. You've done so many amazing things.
So many things. I'm just reading here again. Temptation Island, obviously.
You should mentor us.
Yes, he should.
No.
The fact that you do The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal live
insane.
is insane. But my favorite is
down.
Antiques Roadshow. I mean, I have a million questions about that.
Okay.
You must be so knowledgeable about antiques to be able
No.
Okay, well,
So
and
not.
question answered.
And thank you for
I'll tell you what I tell people is that I was on that show for a decade or more, and the only thing I learned is that I don't own anything of value. Like, I don't know. And people come up to me all the time, and they're like, see me in the airport, and it's like the difference between you guys as famous actors and a host, because a host is like a little bit more like approachable.
Yeah.
So rather than going, can I get a picture? They walk up to me mid-sentence like we've hung out.
Yes.
And they're like, dude, I've got this watch my grandfather gave me. And I'm like, dude, I have no clue.
Looks pretty nice to me.
For real though. And so I'm like, it's worth $100, and I'll give you 100 for it right now.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I
So
bet
it's
people do that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you make a really good point, Mark, that hosting, from what I've observed, is that I've really enjoyed being a content creator nowadays and doing hosting and podcasting
Right.
or whatever, because people, the veil of celebrity is not there. So whether you're, relevant or scandalous or whatever it is, it's like, no, you're like of the people, and people love to come up to you and have like genuine moments with you.
Well, if you're hitting your marks as a host, in my opinion, it's all about authenticity. By the way, all things in life are about that, but I don't want to get too heady too early in this podcast. But the point is that authenticity makes you accessible. You're not playing a role of anybody. And in most hosting situations, it's the person you want to have coffee with every day. So the more real you are, the better you are as a host. And the more you make it not about you and more about the content you're providing, the more effective you are. So
100%.
the podcast world, now that you guys are being you, you're letting us in, those of us who are fangirling the fuck out of you guys.
Wait a minute. Stop it, you! Stop it, you!
No,
You
your
have
children.
No idea.
It
This
is
is like my podcast bar mitzvah. This is big
Oh
for
my God,
me.
you're so right. It's about staying interesting and interested at the same time. Absolutely.
But also as a
access.
host, we're starting to, you could still be authentic and not a good listener. And so Anneliese and I you have to learn to listen, Anneliese. We have a guest.
Sorry, come again?
So we have to learn to listen. I just think everyone needs to learn to listen so much because we are so interested in our branding and authenticity as a brand sometimes can get, I don't know. I'm getting heady. See, I'm getting
but I
heady.
can bring it right back. This is what
Please.
hosts do. I'm going to bring it right back to where we want to go.
Mentor, number one.
When I start every season of Temptation Island, and these contestants come on, and they're not contestants, these participants come on.
Yeah.
I ask them, either on camera or off camera, because it's blurry to me, I say, why are you here? And they give me the stock answer, we have issues with our relationship, we'd like to find answers, this, that, and the other. And I say, well, okay, I'll buy that, but I also think it's about collabs and clout and Instagram and all of that.
Yeah, call it what it is.
And then I say, and I'm cool with all of it for two reasons.
No shame.
One is, this show's going to get real quicker than you think. And two is, regardless of what you want, whether it's fame through social media or answers to your relationship, the same route is true. The more authentic and real you are, the more chance you're going to find answers. But the only people who really make it in the social media world, in my opinion, are people who show the real them.
That's true. Now something we were talking about is the camera being in front of us and how that kind of is, we are trained actors, so
Right.
it is hard to not to break the fourth wall in a way. Our relationship to lenses is not unique.
You access that person that you use for work as opposed to the person that's off camera. And
Yeah.
they're compartmentalized. But what I'm learning, because I'm not the generation that's killing it at the Gen Z level, but I'm a student of them.
Yeah.
What I'm learning is they grew up in front of their own cameras all the time. So they don't have what we had, the
That
difference
filter.
between my work mark and real mark.
Right.
So, and it's all about exposing everything, which to some of us is like, don't tell that stuff. That's not what people want. But in fact, it gives access.
Speaking of real Mark or work Mark or host Mark, you host so many things. How do you keep it interesting for yourself? And do you feel any pressure to be a sort of different version or several versions of Mark as a different host?
I love
seems
that question.
Okay.
I really thank you for asking it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Because I've thought about it a lot, and I've talked about it a lot
Yeah.
recently. And I think there's two things to that. One is I'm so grateful that regardless of the show I do, and I'll give you three as an example. There's Antiques Roadshow, which has a certain demographic. There's Temptation Island, which has an entirely almost polar
Totally opposite.
demographic.
Yeah.
And then there's game shows,
Right.
nerdy stuff,
Yeah.
right? Or talk shows or whatever. Different shows, different audiences, same me.
Yeah. Difficult.
Maybe different aspect of me. Like, for instance, me with the boys on the golf course is still me, but might be a little bit different language. Me with you is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's still me. And so that's my goal, and that's the honor the audience gives me when they are still kind of digging it.
You must love people. Correct me if I'm wrong, but my husband's the kind of person who loves human behavior.
Oh, that's actually great.
Loves
I think I love human
people.
behavior, and I have space for people. I love people, but it's not like I love everyone. But getting back to the passion and different things is something that I've kind of had to break down. And what am I doing that's working, and how did I get there so that I can share it? And what it is I think I've learned early as a survival technique, actually. It's not that we're passionate about what we're passionate about and not about what we're not. But if we can be loving and generous, we allows us access to be passionate about what you're passionate about. So, for instance, in the Antiques Roadshow world, we might be talking about an antique that I don't really give a shit about, right?
Yeah.
But what I can access is that you do.
Yes.
And your joy and excitement is enough for me to have access. Like, why is that? I can have fun riding your ride. And that's how I, like, for instance, on
Be a
Temptation Island.
chameleon.
Yeah, see, I can't do
take on
that.
the energy of that person.
I'm sorry. And this is the problem, is that this is probably why I don't even take a ton of pleasure in acting anymore. It's like I'm not a student of human behavior. I'm not interested in other people.
Oh, are you kidding me? You're
No,
crazy.
but it's okay. I feel like there's people out there that probably are like me and that they're kind of a little bit more introverted. I think maybe there's like, I know that we all kind of need to feel like we need to be super accommodating to everyone. But for me, it's like I feel like I've let my energy out a lot in life, and now I'm more about conserving it and also
love that,
protecting.
though.
Yeah, is that okay?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm a game
Papa
show
Mark
host.
tells me it's okay.
I'm not a therapist, but I seem to find this role a lot.
I was going to
Okay.
say.
But my take on it, if you want it, I'll give you my take.
Yes, I do.
My take is there's some beauty in what you said. What you've done is given up the years as a child when you're still trying to figure it out, when you're forced to be an adult. You're giving up the people-pleasing aspect of what you've been forced to do. And in that, you are real, and therefore it's not that you hate people and we don't get that vibe. You're just being you, and you're not spending you're valuing you. You're giving yourself agency.
Absolutely.
Right.
I thank you. Thank
You
you for
must be
acknowledging.
in therapy. You are so, you're so
best.
empathetic and
We love him.
empathic. Yes,
Well, we could talk about empathy too.
Yeah.
Because Gen Z loves to talk about being an empath like it's a cool thing, like almost like as good as the blue check mark, right?
That's
right?
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, you're an empath. You're an empath." Well, yeah, I am. But my empathic nature is out of survival and fear.
You've mentioned this before. What was that from? Like survival?
I grew up in the Deep South.
Got it.
I was
Where in the Deep South
North
again?
Carolina, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Okay, yeah, that's Deep South.
And most of this is between my ears. The truth is, I don't think anybody really bullied me or anything. I just had fear about it. I wasn't a big dude, and life was a little random. My parents worked, so I was home alone a lot. And what empathy is, being an empath is sensing other people's vibe in the room, being keenly aware of what they're feeling, and that's really to suss out danger. It then becomes, when you can get back centered, it becomes this really beautiful thing where you can let people know you see and hear them.
Yes, that you
Right.
put yourself in their shoes and that you know where they're coming from, that you
Right.
can really understand where they're coming from. You're not just saying it, you actually can feel it.
You also married an actress who had
Yes.
also been a child actor, might I add.
Yes, tell us about this.
Yeah,
Yes,
please do, because that's how we met.
Yes, we did. So I was a singing waiter.
Sing something for us!
Don't make me sing.
Don't make me sing. Don't make me sing.
No, I don't think it's good for
Happy
America.
birthday.
To you.
I really can't.
Oh, we should sing happy birthday
Don't
to.
make me dance.
Don't make me dance. I know your daughter.
Fan kick.